It's an absolutely brilliant history in terms of what God has done in George Liele, with George Liele, and through George Liele.
This place has a history, a rich history, and I'm here because of George Liele.
You are at the East Queen Street Baptist Church, and East Queen Street happens to be the oldest Baptist church in the country.
It started in homes, and it led to smaller buildings, and now we're in a historic landmark. Not for his name's sake, but for Christ's name's sake.
Oh, wow. This is pretty cool.
So when we visited the George Liele Church, it's the experience of being in a church that's 200 years old and the pulpit's 15 feet in the air. It was sort of breathtaking when you walk in. So I took tons of pictures, but also just not forgetting the message of what George Liele actually did. It's a big deal for us.
In 1783, George Liele left Savannah, Georgia, as a means of attempting to avoid being re-enslaved.
And he comes with a Bible in hand and a fire in his heart, preaching the truth of the gospel of Jesus Christ. For 3 hours?
3 hours?
I said 3.5 hour church service. You think you can do that?
I possibly could. I could.
I just can't believe that the balcony racks and I was literally just
like a track, a walking track.
You know, the gospel is most powerful when it comes to life. And we are living it and seeing the fruit of these wonderful men and women who have worked so hard.
We talk about, lostness being the world's greatest problem, right? There are a lot of problems in the world, but lostness is the world's greatest problem.
It is important for us to be involved in missions because, one, we are recipients of the commission.
We have to think multiplication. The church has to multiply, and when the church multiplies, there are more missionaries being sent.
We trained missionaries, pastors and teachers and nurses, and a group of them left and went back to the continent of Africa, places like Panama, like a group of islands belonging to Colombia. That's called San Andres.
It's so interesting that you talk about that because we have a pastor on this mission trip that's from Panama.
My parents are Colombians. I was born in Panama. Who will have ever thought that church in San Andres Island, Colombia, the church in Panama, and doing what I'm doing right now will have all brought together from George Liele.
By 1838, when emancipation was finally recognized in Jamaica, if you were a black Christian in Jamaica, you were Baptist.
That's George Liele. He says, I won't stand still. I won't stop. Nothing will keep me from preaching Christ, preaching the freedom that Christ offers, both here and in eternity. And so that is who George Liele is. God may be calling you to go across the sea. I mean, like he's calling us to go across the street, he's calling others to go across the sea. It's gonna take all of us, man, to do something about the world's greatest problem. It's missionary presence. Missionary presence is key. And the more we send, the more God is gonna save. And like George Liele says, we will never stand still. We're gonna keep preaching the gospel of Christ.